So, you might have seen a lot in the news recently about Trump's indictment on possible criminal charges brought by the Manhattan district prosecutors. This begs the question, what impact would a possible indictment have on Trump's presidential campaign? Our base case scenario indicates that former President Trump will surrender himself to a court in New York City over charges related to undeclared payments to an adult film star during his presidential campaign in 2016. This would make Trump the first former president in U.S. history to be indicted on criminal charges. The misclassification of business expenses is a misdemeanor under New York law.
However, Trump will likely be charged with a felony due to allegations that the expenses were used to cover up campaign finance violations. So, can Trump run if he is indicted?
The Constitution stipulates only 3 conditions to enable somebody to be able to take up the office of president. Those conditions are natural-born citizen, resident in the U.S. for at least 14 years, and at least 35 years of age.
So, in theory, nothing stops Trump from running if indicted or even if convicted.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, but what would be the precedent if Trump was to run from jail?
So we have several examples. In 1920, Socialist Party leader Eugene V. Debs ran while in jail. He was incarcerated for protesting World War I. We also have Judd, West Virginia primary election. He actually scored 41% of the vote against incumbent President Barack Obama. And more recently, we have Mr. Exotic Joe, the Tiger King. He's also running for president while incarcerated.
So what are the political implications of Trump's arrest? The ongoing legal controversy in court cases may actually serve to bolster support for alternate Republican candidates in the 2024 presidential election. This could be support for Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley among persuadable Republican voters who are not entirely set on voting again for Trump in 2024.
So minor protests by Trump activists or other right-wing activists are likely. In the near term, if he is indicted, we give it around a 55 to 75% probability. Pro-Trump groups have held minor rallies in the past couple days in New York City and outside his residence in Palm Beach. These protests have had a considerable police presence. Further protests following Trump's arrest are also likely to be held in areas with a large police presence and crowd control measures, which will likely prevent the risk of clashes with counter-protesters.
There has been activity in online forums and closed Telegram channels calling for political violence and mass mobilization in response to Trump's possible criminal indictment. This includes calls by ultranationalist and far-right extremist groups who seek to blockade, potentially, New York City. They propose barricading the tunnels and bridges to block off any entry and exit from the city to effectively bring it to its knees. However, the likelihood of such an event taking place is very low. Various different far-right groups have, in fact, had different responses to Trump's possible criminal indictment. Some far-right groups, including the Proud Boys, have suggested this is a false flag operation by authorities, alleging that it will be used to conduct mass arrests.
Thank you for listening. If you found this interesting, please remember to like and subscribe.